today I wanted to find out what is better, a Mac Pro or an iMac, and what's cheaper, and half the price. And in this configurations I would buy this. Okay, first the Mac Pro. I would add the 4 GB of RAM. I would use the standard 2.8 GHz Intel Xeon processors, which are very fast. If somebody wants to buy a Mac Pro, if you need the power, use 8 cores. The pricey is okay for this, and I think that's very fast. But don't buy Apple RAM, it's much expensive. Here I use it for testing. It's too complicated to use the best and RAM and so on, and so I use Apple RAM for 4 GB. I would choose 8 GB for the same price, I think, if I could. Yes, I would use a 320 hard drive in the Mac Pros. It's a standard. If I need more, I would upgrade. That's not much expensive, and you have only to fix 4 small things and it's in. That's not really difficult. So, and a lot less expensive. $40 more for 400 GB of RAM. You could buy the 400 GB hard drive for $50, so I think that's not okay. All other hard drive positions are empty. That's okay. I would use NVIDIA GeForce 8800 GT with 512 MB. It's a lot faster than the ATI Radeon HD 260 2600 XT with 265 MB RAM, which costs 120 euros less, but it's not the fastest. I could use if I work in things like Cinema 4D or things like this, Quark Express, Adobe Photoshop, Adobe InDesign. I've a lot of applications like this here in my dock. Yes, After Effects and motion, color. They would prefer to, I think, the programs. And I would choose a 30-inch cinema display. It's very wide and perfect for video editing. Or I would look for this. I would choose 2 20-inch cinema displays. I think, I'm not sure, but I think that I would prefer the 30-inch display. And yes, I would choose Wi-Fi card. Why, you're asking? Yes, Ethernet is much faster, but in my home I've only big Wi-Fi network and no cable network. Cable is only in one room, Ethernet, and so I have to use a Wi-Fi card. The price tag is in the end by 4,989 euros with the 2.8 GHz quad-core Intel Xeons, 8 cores in it, 4 GB RAM, 320 GB hard drive, 8800 GT graphics card with 512 MB, 2 super drives. Okay, in the real life I wouldn't choose an Apple super drive. I would buy something LG or something like this and build it in. It's not really difficult. I think everyone who knows a little bit about computers could upgrade their Mac Pros. It's not difficult. I would choose a 30-inch cinema display, I think. And I would choose the original Mighty Mouse and the original keyboard. I don't like that on the Bluetooth keyboard there's no numbers block. I'm not sure how this is called in English. Yes, so that was the Mac Pro. Now we're speaking about the iMac. The base of this iMac would be the 24-inch model with 3.06 GHz, 2GB RAM, 500GB hard drive, and the super drive NVIDIA GeForce 8800 GS with 512MB. But the NVIDIA GeForce 8800 GS is not 8800 GS. Yes, why is Apple doing this, and why it's not 8800 GS, you're asking? It's a mobility one. It's an NVIDIA GeForce 8800M GTX, which is a little bit faster than a 8800 GS, and so it's a very fast card, I think. That's a good base. Yes, the only options I would do are more RAM, 4GB, not 2, and yes, everything else is, oh, that's the only option. Everything else is standard. 500GB are enough, I think, and so the price in the end is by 2059. Yes, now I think you want to know what is my favorite. What would I prefer? Would I prefer the iMac or the Mac Pro? Yes, I think every one of you would prefer the Mac Pro. Okay, not everyone. Some people don't like the design of the Mac Pro so much because he's so large, but I think it's not a problem. My iMac in my sleep room, on the Mac Pro in my working room, and everything is okay. My white iMac, I like my white iMac, but if I have the money, I would choose the Mac Pro. But what would you prefer, guys? Would you prefer the iMac or the Mac Pro, or something else? Something complete different? Write it in the comments. Sorry for my little broken English and German, so you know. See you next time. Goodbye.